Here's a quick tutorial on a great feature in Pro Tools called loop recording. First of all, you need to set up a couple things. Up here, if you right click on the record button, it'll go down to loop record mode. And then the next thing we need to do is bring in some media to work with. Finder, we'll pull in this movie. And this movie has a great music soundtrack, but we're not going to use it right now, so we don't need to hit this button. When you're working with movies in Pro Tools, it's a good idea to know when your movie starts. So we'll do that by right-clicking on this, going down to Spot, and let's go ahead and put it at the hour mark. That way all the math is easier when we're trying to figure out things. Once I get it to the hour mark, is hit Command L. Now this movie doesn't have timecode imprinted on it, but if somebody wanted to reference timecode, at least I would know that it started at the hour mark. Next step is we need to add an audio track for our movie. And what I want to add is there's a scene right here where the slime molds are moving around. I want to add some sound effects to that. So I'll make this my start marker, and I'll say this is slime start. Let's put this right on the point where they start moving. And then I'll take my selection and go a little bit wider than that. So a little bit after they stop moving and a little bit before. That way I can know exactly when to come in. The next step is to name my track. I'm going to use some paper to make the sound of the little slime molds moving around. So I'll call this one Slime Paper. It's always good practice to name your tracks. Alright, I'm going to hit mute so I don't hear myself, and I'm going to hit record. A little paper sound check there. Let's go. Command spacebar to record. And stop. I always want to go a little bit farther into the last take and then stop, so I have a full take saved. So look what happened up here. Pro Tools saved these takes up here in the regions list. Now the old way of dealing with these things was to hold down Option, listen to them, pull them down into tracks this way. But we have this new feature here in Pro Tools. It's called the playlists. Now we can use this playlist feature to organize our takes. So we can hit the solo button over here. Listen to the different takes. I really like the beginning of this one, so I'm going to promote it with the promote button right here. And after that, I really liked this section of the second take. And then the third take is just around it. So now, if I hit go, three separate sounds. And of course, I could also go in here. I'll zoom in a little bit. I'm hitting R and T to zoom. I can move these takes around just like I would in a normal comp. I could take these and crossfade them. And in Pro Tools 10, I can raise or lower the volume of these with the clip-based gain. So this is a very handy feature in kind of Frankensteining together a performance. And finally, if I like this take the way it is, I can select it, go here and say New, and we'll say Slime Comp. Now I can go back and forth between the comp that I did. I'll copy this one and paste it into this one. Hit Option, Shift, and 3, and now I have that as one whole file. So that whole performance with all the crossfades in it is now one thing. And if I like to save this file as my final project, what I can do is bounce it to an audio file using bounce to disk. And I can change all my settings here. What's also great in this is we have the MP3 option if we're just sending a proof to somebody and we don't want to send them the whole huge file. You can do your tags and then save it where you want to save it. And that's how you use loop recording to finish your project.